Okay, so the chairman of the Staff Selection Commission recently said some things about coaching institutes, and let me tell you, it's really stirred up quite a debate. He basically claimed these institutes joined protests just to protect their own businesses, and that has definitely gotten a huge reaction from the education world. SSC Chairman S. Gopalakrishnan spoke out about the ongoing protests by students at Ramlila Maidan. He basically said that running these exams is, first and foremost, the commission's responsibility. He shot down claims that the agency set wrong questions, insisting those accusations are just plain wrong because, get this, the questions actually come from multiple sources. The chairman also sounded pretty confident that future exams will run smoothly and transparently. He made it clear that if any of the agencies involved mess up, they'll deal with it. Now, he said all this after students had been protesting, demanding that the exams be run better. He pointed out that 4 different agencies are involved in the whole exam process, and each one plays a big role. He also stressed that the SSC is fully committed to sorting out any technical or operational hiccups. He promised candidates that the changes they're rolling out are all about making the recruitment process fairer and more transparent. But things are still pretty tense out there. Students are still really worried about exam irregularities, questions showing up again, and having to travel super far to their test centers. Gopalakrishnan insisted that the commission is actively working to fix past glitches, especially those concerning how questions were set and where centers were allocated. Alright, let's break this down. The SSC chairman didn't hold back, directly criticizing coaching institutes. He claimed they only joined the protests to save their own businesses, which, he says, have been hit hard by recent reforms. He basically insisted these institutes don't care one bit about the actual students or how the commission operates. Gopalakrishnan specifically pointed to things like bringing in e-dossiers and tweaking the question patterns as reasons why these institutes' revenues are taking a hit. And get this, he also mentioned that since July 2025, the SSC has changed how questions are set, moving it from the exam conducting agency to independent content providers, all thanks to a Supreme Court order. Now, he did admit this change caused some initial hiccups, like duplicate questions and answer options showing up multiple times. But he added that corrective measures, like equi-percentile normalization, are already in place to sort things out. The chairman also brought up that the SSC has brought in CDAC to beef up IT security and fight off hacking attempts in their computer-based tests, which, he noted, are often linked to private test centers. He clarified that now, instead of relying on just one agency, multiple agencies are involved in monitoring exams, developing content, and providing IT support. Of course, these remarks didn't go down well. Coaching institute representatives immediately hit back, arguing that their role is actually super important and vital for students preparing for exams. Alright, let's break this down. So, we've got some new numbers in, and it looks like about 550,000 candidates actually took the selection posts, Phase 13 exams. Those happened between July 24th and August 2nd, 2025. Now, there was a bit of a snag. Exams at 2 centers on July 24th actually got called off due to some technical glitches. They were, of course, rescheduled later. It turns out about 59,000 candidates were caught up in these disruptions, so for them, 3 special exam shifts were quickly set up for August 29th. On a more positive note, the stenographer exams, which ran from August 6th to 8th, thankfully went off without any hitches. Now, about all the chatter regarding those really far-off exam centers, Gopalakrishnan chimed in, saying the issue came down to the new agency handling these exams still getting its facilities properly set up. Because of that, some candidates initially found themselves assigned to centers as far as 500 kilometers away from home. Yikes. He also acknowledged that they're actively working to iron out these technical and operational kinks in the computer-based recruitment exams. And he's pretty confident that upcoming tests, like the big combined graduate level exam, will roll out without a hitch. He stressed that, at the end of the day, this new system is all about boosting transparency and fairness across the entire recruitment process. Alright, let's talk about the coaching scene. So, among the coaching institutes reacting to the SSC chairman's recent comments, Nimbus Learning is one online provider that's really stood out for SSC exam prep. They offer specialized courses specifically for folks looking to get into civil and mechanical engineering. They deliver all their content through recorded lectures, designed to make sure you really clear every single concept. Nimbus Learning itself claims to offer the best online course for SSC, perfect for students who need flexible, accessible ways to get ready for their exams. Their whole model really shows the growing trend of digital coaching platforms, often working hand in hand with traditional classroom instruction. Now, on the flip side, you've got other major players like TIME, who are still offering comprehensive test preparation across a massive range of competitive exams, including SSC, CAT, Bank, GATE, GMAT, GRE, UPSC, EG, CLAT, IPM, and BBA. TIME has, for a long time, really cemented its reputation as the specialist in test prep, with a presence across so many different exam categories. But zooming out a bit, the broader coaching industry has actually been facing a lot more scrutiny in recent years. There's been plenty of debate over things like their fee structures, the stress students are under, and how much regulatory oversight they really have. In fact, new guidelines have been issued, requiring coaching centers to register within 3 months of these rules kicking in, and to keep their websites totally up to date with all their tutor and fee details. These measures are a direct response to reports of shady practices, ridiculously high fees, and even some tragic incidents, all linked back to these unregulated coaching environments. So, this whole debate about coaching centers and preparing for government exams? It actually points to some bigger worries we have about our education system in general. Now, critics are saying that these private coaching classes have really messed with higher education, especially in science. They claim teachers are getting pulled away from their regular schools and colleges. Apparently, a lot of educators are spending more time at these coaching centers than in their actual classrooms, and that's obviously hurting the quality of teaching in schools. But on the flip side, supporters argue that coaching classes have actually helped countless students ace those super tough competitive exams for professional jobs. They say these centers provide structured guidance that schools might not always offer. So, the big challenge here is finding that sweet spot, making exam prep accessible, affordable, and high quality, all while making sure our core education system stays strong. They've even suggested reforms, like putting a cap on coaching hours, hoping it'll ease student stress. But some folks are warning that this might just be a band-aid solution if the intense anxiety around exam results doesn't go away. And when the SSC chairman criticized the sector, that really cranked up the heat, leading to calls for more transparency and accountability from these coaching centers. As recruitment processes keep changing, with new tech and procedures, this whole relationship between exam bodies like the SSC and private coaching centers is still a huge talking point when it comes to making sure everyone gets a fair shot at government jobs. The buzz around the SSC exams and the whole situation with coaching institutes? That discussion is still very much ongoing. Students, teachers, and even the people making the rules are keeping a close eye on things as new reforms aim to make hiring for government jobs fairer and more open.